So Mr. Simon, in fact, would have scored the highest on the Assistant Commissioner of Police list in order to be appointed as on the acting order of merit list for Deputy Commissioner of Police. So we have nothing of concern on this side, Madam Speaker, to raise against the gentleman. As I said before, he came before this Parliament already, his name. I don't believe he was ever charged. I don't believe he ever abducted anyone from a foreign jurisdiction. In fact, I don't believe he ever arrested a Commissioner of Police. But, Madam Speaker, I think his resume is quite laudable. He has several years of training, having joined the police service in 1990, 1 year before I was born. And I think, Madam Speaker, I wish him well going forward. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has been placed in a state of uncertainty. It has been placed in a messy situation, and that is all because of the prescription and the actions of this present government. And I thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I have made 2 notes. And one is this response to my colleague from Barataria and others forever trying to make something out of the fact that I, as Prime Minister, passed a report to the Police Service Commission. Madam Speaker, let me today, since my colleague from Barataria tried as hard as he could find nothing to say, and notwithstanding his sound and fury on political platforms, comes to the House, given the floor, all of us are all ears, and all he could raise today is that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago passed a report to the Police Service Commission. Let me, for the basis of educating our children, our university graduates, our university lecturers, and our opposition politicians, that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Chairman of the National Security Council, is duty-bound, as settled by the law, to make available to the Police Service Commission any matter or report or any other matter which is pertinent to the remit of the Police Service Commission.
There's a member whose device just went out. If they could go outside, get their device under control, and they're welcome back. They need to go outside and get it under control. Prime Minister.
That was a meeting. You recorded the meeting.
And just in case, Madam Speaker, I didn't stop because I didn't want my colleague from Barataria to not understand what I was saying. So I'll repeat it. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, as Chairman of the National Security Council, is duty-bound in law, settled by the Privy Council, to make available to the Police Service Commission any information or pertinent matter which has to do with the remit of the Police Service Commission. That being so, Madam Speaker, I am appalled that this particular point has been led in the national discourse by a senior counsel who from time to time writes foolishness in the newspaper. And unfortunately, that's where my colleague gets his support from, talking about Prime Minister and merit list at President House. Absolute poppycock. Madam Speaker, the other point that was raised in that brief intervention from Barataria Sanwan is that I said that the government is not involved in this matter, and he's saying, my colleague from Barataria Sanwan said, no, the government is responsible. The point that I'm making, and the not involved that I'm going to repeat, is that with respect to the investigation, the submission of a complaint to the Police Service Commission, the recommendation to arrest the police commissioner, recommendation to continue finding information and evidence from the DPP's office, has absolutely nothing to do with the government of Trinidad and Tobago. The government is a separate line of operation of the state, and as you know, Madam Speaker, the government is prevented from, even if we wanted to get involved with police investigation, police recommendation to the Commission, advice to the Commission, dealing with the DPP and his recommendations, and any recommendation that the DPP might make to arrest anybody in this country. It is wicked and mischievous for any member of Parliament or any person in the know to give the impression that whatever difficulty the Commissioner of Police is facing now has to do with the government. Stop misleading people.
Exactly.
And insofar as the government has been approached by the police, and the government has reported answering a question raised by the police, which I have done, that cannot be properly said to be involved in the process of investigating and, in fact, ordering any action against the Commissioner of Police. We, like the rest of the country, we await the outcome of the work of the police and the advice of the Director of Public Prosecution as it has to do with the Commissioner of Police or any other person under police investigation. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Honourable members, the question is, be it resolved that the notification of the President of the nomination by the Police Service Commission of Mr. Kurt Simon to act in the office of Deputy Commissioner of Police be approved. All in favour say aye. Aye. Any against? The ayes have it. Leader of the House.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House do now adjourn to a date to be fixed.
Honourable members, the question is that this House do now adjourn to a date to be fixed. All in favour say aye. Aye. Any against? The ayes have it. This House now stands adjourned to a date to be fixed.